one of the key behaviours of brands who had a really strong effectiveness culture was language and communication, and particularly with the finance department.
What you need to establish is a foundation of trust, I think, in which you can work alongside other people, get to understand their issues a bit so they can understand your issues a bit.
Within the spectrum of marketing effectiveness realities, you've got some companies who have restructured to support marketing effectiveness at the sort of top end of the spectrum, have got integrated data sources being made widely available across the organisation. But I think it's fair to say that they are in the minority. There are others that are aspiring and are some way along the way in their journey.
Finance people used to be focused on reporting the performance of the organisation. Now, because of the automation of so many of the financial functions, they're now focused on driving performance, driving effectiveness for their organisation.
One poor respondent said, I'm a marketing effectiveness unit of one, and clearly culturally was not getting the support that he felt he needed to be able to really sort of spread the message within the organisation.
One of the things I often ask my clients when they come to us with ambitions for what they want their advertising to achieve, and often they'll come with a view about saying, we want to do this, we want to do this, we want to do this, and the question I always ask is, if you could pick one metric to judge its effectiveness by, what would that be? And that for me is usually very interesting because it tells you a huge amount about the culture of that organisation and just how much it values effectiveness or creativity.
It's very clear from the research that the prevailing focus is very much short-term. So when we ask the question, do you have long-term plans, signed off and in place? And by that we meant, more than 1 year. For finance guys, none of them felt that was the case, whereas for marketing, it's a little bit more positive, but the majority of plans were 3 to 6 months or 6 to 12 months.
I particularly think now where technology drives so much of what we do, that the technology grows at an exponential rate, but our capacity for formalising and understanding the nature of the relationships which are essential to the way we work together, hasn't really kept pace with that. And I think we need to develop a more robust language around that.
Constantly having this tedious debate about short-term versus long-term is slightly, I think, getting in the way of making some progress. Let's have a debate about shared accountability and responsibility.
I do think there is a move towards short-term metrics. I do think that arguably that is harmful for the long-term growth of the brands that we are supposed to be in service to. But I think we are stupid if we think we're going to suddenly turn the clock back. So we have to find a way forward to kind of balance these two things.
The trend is definitely moving forward, that effectiveness will be on the finance agenda, and then for marketers need to get with the programme.
This is a glass half full issue for me. I sort of constantly hear marketeers and agency people sort of feeling that they're disenfranchised and sidelined in the bigger debate about what contribution they're making to the business. My message on all these occasions is always, never has there been a need for what marketing delivers as there is now.
I think in times of uncertainty, it's very easy to allow that to cloud your sense of values because you're literally in a new world and you're alongside people you don't know. And it's very easy for values like trust to become sidelined in that, or not to, or to lose confidence in them. But it's essential to do it. There's no foundation for working together with people which doesn't rely on trust and confidence.